right on.
All right, so what we do is we run this, and as I said, there's on the market there's probably 4 brands, 5 brands. This one just happens to be made by us.
By you to your specs, yeah.
All right, so that now neatly sits here. It didn't sit neatly here before because on this particular fork, the top of the the top of the damper rod is flat. This has a little step here, so I just needed this little extra piece on it, just so as the valve sits there. It has a place to sit. They're a very simple part. It's not to say that the way they work isn't a little bit complex, but there's not actually a great deal of parts in it. So that is basically it.
So that spring, that shim, and that there.
Yeah, right. So how it works is as the oil, well, let me put it back together again if I can without dropping it all on the ground. So in short,
so that spring is up against a plate there. I notice it's got 2 holes in it.
Yeah. So
yep.
I won't tighten it up because as the oil flow is then coming through here, out of our tube, the first thing it does at very low speed is that the oil can then bleed through these 2 little holes.
And I noticed you adjusted the size of those holes, so obviously you adjust that, you drill.
I did drill, because this is for a dirt bike, it's an off-road application, it does work better with
the flow,
with a little bit more low-speed bleed. So I just drilled in an extra hole. Then as the amount of force on the back of this then increases, it actually lifts this little plate here up.
Oh, against that spring?
Yeah. Then the further it tries to lift, because you're compressing it against a spring, the amount of force it takes to compress that spring increases.
And that's how it works?
That's basically how it works. So you end up with, whereas the dampening here is fixed, that orifice is fixed.
This can do low speed and high speed.
This orifice isn't fixed.
Oh.
So you do end up with a low speed and high speed. It's not the most sophisticated thing, but they're pretty cheap.
Yep.
And they work much better than that.
Yep.
And there's a little bit of tuning you can do. These springs, we make about 4 of them. Yep. 4 different types, softer and harder. Yep. The bleed plates, you might be able to see we've got 4 little marks in them, so you can drill more holes. Yep. Yeah.
Good stuff.
And the actual preload on the spring itself.
By the bolt.
Yeah.
Very good.
So that's basically it.
So that's how emulators work.
Yep.
Or what do you call them?
We call them a V4S valve. You can call them a travel control valve, PD valve. The intimator works slightly differently, but...
Oh. All right. Thanks, Nick.
Right. Thank you. See ya.